Hello, everyone. Good morning. Can you confirm audible or not? So far what we discussed. So far what we discussed. Can anyone? So far what we discussed.
Variable functions, how to call functions.
Variables and functions.
The next one is like functions and types of functions we discussed. The next one is like what is callback. The next
Higher order
is higher order function. Right? What is higher order function? Okay. These things we discussed, right? Anyone have any questions so far? The next one is like we talk something about the document also. Document variable. So far, anyone have any questions? Hmm? No? Okay, then let's go something more about the document. Tell me, what is document? Yesterday we discussed, right? What is document? It's a predefined variable, right?
predefined variable.
Variable which represents all the elements, okay, whatever the content loaded or whatever the content visible to the end user. For example, this one you can take it. Whatever the content is visible to the end user, this content related code where we can see this content related source code where we can see in the developer console window, that developer console window in the elements tab we can see or not. But my thing is like the same content I want in the JavaScript. The content related source code we can see in the elements tab. See, about related code is this one. Click on this one. Google related code is this one. This content related source code we can see in the elements tab. That each and every element applied with which kind of CSS, that CSS also we can see here. But the thing is, the same content, this content related source code, I want in the JavaScript. This content related source code I want to see in the JavaScript. Okay, then how? This content related source code, if you want to check in the JavaScript, then the time you can go with one of the predefined variable called as a document is the predefined variable or not. The variable name is like what? Document. It's a predefined variable. Okay, now if you open this document, now see this, okay, at the next one is like body. Okay, inside that body, whatever you have, everything you can see. Whatever we have in the elements tab, everything we can see in the console by using one variable or not. In the console means console is like a JavaScript environment. In the JavaScript, if you want to represent the same code, then the time you can go with this or not. This one. Okay, now tell me, what is the use of this document? What is the use of this document? What is the use of this document? By using this document predefined variable, all
We
the
can get the
elements of the
reference.
document only, right? If you want one element, then the time can you go and get the element from the document? Why? Because each and every element, this content related source code, everything we refer or everything we represent by using document. So that if you want any specific element, first of all you have to approach whom? Document variable only or not? In the document variable only, all the elements we have, which element you want, that element you can get it. So how we can get it? For that, there has multiple methods are there. Okay, one of the method yesterday we discussed like what? One of the method yesterday we discussed like what? Yesterday we
For a
discussed
selector.
query selector is the one or not? Query selector is the one. One of the method we discussed like query selector yesterday. Okay, now this document is there now. Document is like which type? Document is like which type? This document is like which type?
Variable.
It's a variable.
Object.
Okay. It holds some data, right? Okay, if you observe here, my FN is which type? What's your answer? My fn represents one function, so that you can say like my fn is like a function type, right? Same like this, my document is like which type?
Object.
It is an object. It is an object. So what is an object? Okay, how we can say it's like an object? In JavaScript, we don't have any type for the variables, but we have different data formats, right? For example, if you want to store some amount, okay, you can store like this or not. If you want to store some name, okay, you can store like this or not. If you want to store one boolean value, is he pass, like this, we can store it or not. Like this, we can store it or not. Now let's take like where and where here also. Okay, if you want to store one number, variable name, one number simply, you can store it. If you want to store one string, you can store where name equals to either single quote or double quote words here. If you want to store one boolean value, then the time where is he pass true or false, you can add it. For example, if you have multiple players are there, okay, player one, player two, player three, like this, we have three players are there. Then that time, instead of creating like three variables, player one, player two, player three, is there any data format which holds multiple values in JavaScript? Is there any data format which holds multiple values? By using
Array.
where my players equals to something like this, you can do it or not, Dhoni and Kohli. If you want to represent multiple values in a single variable, if you want to represent multiple values in a single variable, then that time you can go with what? An array or not. Now, if you want to tell something about one player, if you want to tell something about one player, I want to tell something about such, I want to tell something about one particle, either a bus. Okay. If you want to tell something about one particular element, okay, that means one particular object, then that time you can go with what? Object is nothing but it's like physical representation of anything.
Object.
Okay, then you can go with an object. So if you want to tell something about the Sachin, okay, only Sachin, okay, then that time you can go with an object. Okay, if you want to go with this array, yes, you can go with the array, but the difference we can see. First of all, if you want to tell something about one particle, you said like one object, right? One object. So object, how it is looks like syntactically. Where exactly we are going to use? Where exactly we are going to use this object? Where exactly we are going to use this object? Okay, the data format is like an object format, right? In which case we are going to use most of the times. In which case we are going to use most of the times. Hmm? Anyone tell me one simple scenario? Any one of you? The data format you said like an object. Okay, tell me one scenario where exactly we are going to use. Okay, simple scenario you can take it. For example, if you want to book a train ticket, okay, then the time you can use one of the website. Okay, it's like official website is like what? irctc.com or not. Yes or no? Now the thing is, you can book the tickets only through this website too, or other websites also there. There has multiple websites also there, right? Okay, you can book the train tickets by using makemytrip.com, by using some other. Okay, book my train like this multiple. Here there has through Paytm also. Here makemytrip.com. Like this different software.com. Like this different websites are there or not to book the train tickets. Tell me the exact flow here. Tell me the exact flow. Who is going to maintain the DB? Who is going to maintain the DB? Each and every person has their own database, or we have the common database in this case, in this particular scenario? Tell me. If it is like a common, who is going to maintain? You can book the train tickets through irctc.com. It's an official website. Not only irctc.com, through Paytm also I can book the ticket, make my trip also, and Musafir also. Once you book the ticket, okay, for example, one seat is reserved for you, the same seat should not give to some other person or not. That means, okay, we have to store all the data in common space or not. Yes or no? In the common DB only or not. So who is going to maintain this DB? Okay, this
Higher.
IRCTC people, right? Why? Because this guy only the official website and maintain, okay, the train timings at the same time, reservations and everything. These people only maintained or not. Now tell me, through IRCTC, if I book the ticket, then that time IRCTC people only maintain the DB. So, okay, once the ticket booked on your name, okay, one record saved. Okay, on this particular date, the person, the seat number is like reserved, like that, one record saved. For example, if it is like a Paytm, through Paytm, if you want to book the ticket, then the time here also, my Paytm.com has their own user interface, right? Here they are going to ask like what? Come on. Okay. Starting point. Okay. Destination. The next one is like date. Something like this. Some information they are going to ask. The same information with different user interface. The look and feel may be changed. In the makemetrip.com also they ask. In the Musafir also they are going to ask, right? In the Musafir also they are going to ask. Now tell me, once the user entered the data in the Paytm or makemetrip.com and Musafir, these people has to communicate with whom? These people has to communicate with whom? This database, okay, can they give to Paytm people? No, right? Who is going to maintain the database? If I give the database to different people, then the time they are going to do the changes, there is a conflicts. So that they not hand over this database to anyone who want to book the ticket. Okay, collect the details from the passenger and submit the details to the IRCTC only or not. Now IRCTC people check the availability and they are going to book the ticket or not, whatever it is, and they are going to give the response back or not. Like that, my makemetrip.com people also finally connect with whom? These people only or not. Finally connect with these people only or not. And my musafir.com also connect with what? These people only or not. Yes or no. Now, for example, IRCTC people developed the website by using Java. What about these people? Developed their website by using Java. IRCTC people developed the website using Java. That's okay. They can develop. Now tell me, the Paytm people are going to develop the web application the same like Java or different they can choose. This is makeMyTrip.com, my website. I can choose any technology or not. Any technology or not. I can choose like makeMyTrip.com is like a PHP, and this one is like something others, for example, Salesforce, and this one is like a .NET. Different technologies I selected. That is my wish, right? That is my wish. Why? Because this is my own application. Now tell me, this .NET application has to communicate with whom? Java. Okay, irrespective of technologies. Okay, if you want to consume one okay, one resource, one endpoint, then that time these people expose that resource like a web service or not. Okay, that is separate story. Leave it. Now this .NET people has to share the data to my Java people or not. Yes or no? If I share the .NET object to the Java people, is my Java can okay read the .NET object? It's like difficult, right? It's not able to understand the .NET code here or not. If I share the PHP object to Java, it is like difficult or not. So to communicate, to pass the data from my Paytm to my Java, one common understandable language is required to stay to share this data, passenger data or not. That common understandable language is what? Okay, in the past, most of the times we use like what? XML or not? XML. This is the language to share the data from my .NET application to Java. My XML can understandable by the .NET people. My XML can understandable by the Java people also. My PHP also can understand the XML. So in the XML format, he passed the passenger data to the Java application. My Java application read the data from the XML and it's going to store the data, check the availability, and if it is okay, not okay, they are going to give the response or not. But XML means once you pass the data through XML, okay, these people read the data from the XML by using some parsing techniques or not. It is like it's a little cost. You have to write some more code. Okay, instead of this XML, nowadays people are using like what? Nowadays people are using like what? In the JSON object format or not. They pass the data, okay, in the JSON object format. This particular format can understandable by the .NET, can understandable by the Java, can understandable by the PHP and Salesforce, any technology, you can understand this JSON or not. So nowadays, this is like a common understandable data format. Okay, to if you want to pass the data across one application to another application, then the time most of the times we are going to use like what? This data format or not. Okay, the reason is like very simple. It is like the understandable, common understandable language. At the same time, okay, compare with the XML, there is no parsing technique, nothing is required. Directly we can map to DT or something like that. We can do it based on your technology. So that here the JSON we used for what? To share the data from one application to another application, the JSON format we used or not? Yes or no? Okay, now the JSON format, how it looks like. If you want to store the data, first of all, this particular data you have to convert into JSON format and you have to share to another application or not. So how the JSON looks like? How the JSON is looks like? That is the question. So, JSON stands for, we can say like a JavaScript object notation format. JavaScript object notation format. If it is like a JSON, okay, the data format is like a JSON, how it is looks like, how we can format. Okay, very simple. Okay, in JavaScript, if you want to create a JSON object, simply, okay, you can create, it's also one variable only with curly braces. With curly braces. Okay, if it is like an array, just you are going to place like this, right? If you want to create an object, just you can create like this. Whenever you create like this, okay, one variable created whose type is like an object or not. Now, if you come here, where obj equals to this one, this is my obj or not. This is my object. Okay, which is not having the data at this moment. At this moment, it is not having the data. Now, if you want to place the data, okay, for example, if you have the data, that data terminology wise, we can say like, okay, my obj, my object has some properties. Properties. At this moment, do we have any properties here? Terminology wise, we can say like a properties. At this moment, do we have any properties here? We don't have any properties. We don't have any properties. Okay, now once okay, we have some properties. That means once you have some data, that data you have to insert or not. Once you inserted that particular data, we can say like a properties. How the properties looks like? How the properties looks like syntactically means my property is like a key comma value pair. My property is like a key comma value pair. If you want to insert the data, first of all, you need a property. Property is nothing but it's a key value. So once you have the key value, okay, how you can insert syntactically, how we can insert the data means there are two ways we can insert the data. There has two ways we can insert the data. Okay, one is like by using the dot notation. Another one is like by using square bracket notation. One is like by using dot notation we can insert the data. Another one is like by using square bracket notation we can insert the data. If you want to go with this, first of all, you need a key and a value or not. For example, I want to store some data which is related to player Sachin. First of all, if you want to insert the data, one key and value is required. My key, I can say like a name, and my value is like a such. I have a key and I have a value. If you have a key and value, we can insert the data using dot notation or not. So how we can insert the data using dot notation means, okay, in which object you want me to insert the data, in which object you want me to insert the data in the obj, by using dot notation or square bracket notation. Using dot notation, which key you want me to place, name, which value you want me to place, such a
Such a
done. Now if you come here, if you check it now, see there has one property added or not. What is my property? Key, name, and my value is like a such. Like this, how many properties you can add means any number of properties you can add it. Like this, how many properties you can add? Any number of properties you can add it. So if you want to, okay, if you want to add one more property, for example, if you want to add one more property, then how we can add it? If you want to add one more property, how we can add it? Again, key values are required or not. So obj dot my location equals to Mumbai. Obj dot my location equals to Mumbai. Now there has one more property added or not. Now see, there has two properties over there. There has two properties over there. Now observe here. My property is nothing but key value pair. My key and value, how we can differentiate? Key to value, how we can differentiate? How we can differentiate key to value? By using colon. And my one key value to another key value, how we can differentiate? By using comma.
comma.
By using comma. So one key value pair to another key value pair we can differentiate with comma. Key to value we can differentiate with colon or not. Key to value we can differentiate with colon. Understood everyone? Like this, how many properties you can add? Like this, how many properties you can add? Based on your requirement, you can add any number of properties. Now I want to add, okay, runs. How many ways we can add? Using a dot notation. Another one is what?
Square bracket notation.
Square bracket notation. Obj of my runs equals to, obj of my runs equals to 20,000. Now see my obj, there has one more property added or not. Name Sachin, location Mumbai, and runs is like 20,000. Runs is like 20,000. Yes or no? Clear? Okay. Now I'm going to add. Okay, this is my obj. There has three properties on there. Now obj dot full name equals to Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. Now if you click on enter, it gives me what? It gives me a syntax error. It gives me a syntax error. In any programming language, you can take it. Syntax error, if you get it, means there is no reasons, nothing. You have to follow the guidelines of that particular programming language or not. If you get the syntax error, means there is something wrong. You not followed the JavaScript guidelines or not. What is the guideline? You know, whenever in the object, if the key has space, whenever in the object, if my key has the space, then the time we should not go with the dot notation. If you go with the dot notation, it gives me syntax error. Okay, syntax error came means, okay, if you ask also why, okay, why it is not support, means there is no race, okay, there is no answer. Okay, you should have to follow the guideline. If you have, okay, if you have the key which contains the spaces, then that time you should not go with the dot notation. If you go with the dot notation, then what happened? Obj dot full name. Okay, what happened? Okay, it gives me the same error, syntax error.
Syntax error.
So whenever you go with the dot notation, if the key has the spaces, syntax error means there is another way also there now, by using square bracket notation. So can I try with the square bracket notation? Now see, obj of obj of what is that one? Full name is equals to Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar, like this. Now see my obj, my obj, my full name loaded or not. Now tell me one point. If my key having the spaces, then you should have to go with what? If my key having the spaces, you should have to go with what? You should have to go with the, okay, square bracket notation to insert the property or not. Understood everyone?
Yes.
Clear, okay. Okay, this is the way we can insert the data. This is the way we can insert the data. If you want to insert using dot notation, using square bracket notation, using dot notation, using square bracket notation. So can I write my keys, numbers as a keys? Obj of 1 equals to 200. Valid or invalid? Valid or invalid? You can use numbers as like a keys or not, no problem at all. You can use it. You can use it. Understood? Now the next one is like obj of, okay, obj of my 50s is equals to 50. Is it like valid or invalid?
Invalid.
Invalid.
Any other answers? Now it gives me FIF is not defined. It gives me FIF is not defined. Why FIF is not defined? Whenever you use like a square bracket notation, whenever you use like a square bracket notation, in this one whatever you placed, okay, that particular one, either it's a direct value or reference. First of all you have to check. Okay, now see, this particular FIF you not enclosed with either double quote or single quote. Okay, if you enclosed with a double quote or single quote, I can treat like a, it's a string value. Is it like a enclosed with a double quote or single quote? Is it like enclosed with either double or single quote? Is it like enclosed with either double or single quote? Tell me.
No.
String values.
Okay, no, right. It is not enclosed with either double or single quote. Whenever it is not enclosed with either double quote or single quote, then the time it is treated like what? Not a value. Okay, if you write something like this, okay, it's a string value, right? If you write something like this, it's a value or it's a variable. It refers to value. If you write like this, it's a value. If you write like this, then the time
Square.
it is
It's a reference.
some value. It is like a variable or not. Yes or no? Is my FIF variable is created or not created?
Not created.
Not created. That the reason you can get the error is like what is not defined or not. Understood that difference? If I write like this, it's a normal. It's a normal a string. It's a value. It's a value. If you write like this, then the time it is what? It refers to some value. It's a variable. Is this variable created or not created? Is my variable FIF created or not created? Not created. That the reason you can get the error is like what? FIF equals to 50. My FIF is not defined or not. Now you decide first. It's a stringified value na, static value na. It refers to some value. First decide. It's a static value or it refers to some value. Decide. If it is a static, then that time you should go with what? You have to place like a either double quote or single quote. Okay na? For example it refers to some value. It refers to some value. Okay, now obj is this one. For example, obj of a equals to obj of a equals to, okay, 100. Now my a is what? It's a value na, refer to some value na. Come on. A is what? It's direct value or it refers to some value?
Refers to somewhere.
Refers to some value, right? Okay. Now, if it refers to some value, that means this particular reference somewhere you have to define. Is it defined or not defined? Is it not defined? So that if it is like refer to some value, can I define where a equals to 100? Okay. Now see, now my obj is like what? One more property added like what? 100 or not? HUN. Yes or no? So that one point you can tell. If my keys are like dynamic, then the time you should have to go with what? Square bracket notation or dot notation. Which one you want me to go? If my key is like a dynamic, okay, my A
Square
is
bracket
dynamic,
notation.
right? Okay, my keys are like a dynamic, then the time you want me to go with the dot notation or square bracket notation.
Square bracket notation.
If my keys are dynamic, you should have to go with the square bracket notation or not. Okay, if my key is having the space, then you should have to go with what? Square bracket notation or not. Okay, now if you write something like this, where b equals to, India, where P equals to team, for example. Okay, done. Now, obj dot B equals to India. Now, what happened? It is going to insert team as a key, na B as a key. Na. It's going to insert B as a key or team as a key.
B as a key.
E as a key. Why? Because okay, here my dot notation always treated that one like a normal static value, but you want B as like a static, my B refers to some value. Now B refers to some value, it's a dynamic one. Then the time you should have to go with square bracket notation or dot notation. You should have to go with the square bracket notation or not. Now see my obj. Now my obj has the team India or not. Understood? When you can go with the dot notation, when you can go with the square bracket notation. Agreed, everyone? All are okay? Any questions? If my keys are like 2 points, you have to remember my keys are like a dynamic, should go with the dot note square bracket notation. My key has the spaces, should have to go with what? Square bracket notation. Remaining all, both can do it. My dot notation and my square bracket notation, both you can use it. Okay? This is the way you can insert the data. Now think, once my data inserted, okay, for example, sometimes my data is like wrong data. I want to correct it. That means what you have to do? You have to update the data or not. You have to update the data. Now tell me how we can update the data. Okay, I refreshed my page so that my OBJ, whatever the statements executed, those are like reset. So my OBJ is not defined. So can we define the OBJ? Where obj equals to this one. My obj dot name equals to Sachin. My obj dot runs equals to 10,000. My obj has two properties, name runs. But my runs are 10,000, not 20,000. My Sachin runs are like 20,000. Then that what we have to do? This particular value you have to update it or not. So how we can update means very simple. Insert, update, both are like same. Insert and update as like insert only, but the difference what you know, whenever you come to the update, when the data is going to update, you know, if the key already there, then the time my data, my operation is like update operation. If my key is not there, then the time my operation is like insert operation. Other than that, nothing. Both are like same rules. Now for example, if I write like obj dot runs equals to 20,000, first to tell me key is there or not there already in the obj. Key already there or not there, run there. If my key already there, my operation is what? Update operation. Now see my obj, my runs, okay, my run 20,000 or not. My obj dot location equals to Mumbai. Okay, my key is there or not there?
Not there.
Location key is there or not there? Not there. Okay, if my key is not there, my operation is like what?
Insert.
Insert operation or not. Insert operation or not. My key is there, my operation is like update operation. If my key is not there, my operation is like insert operation or not. That's it. Simple. Understood, everyone? Okay, remaining all rules are like same. If my key having the spaces, you have to go with the square bracket notation. If my key is like a dynamic, you should have to go with the square bracket notation. Remaining all are like same. My key already existed, my operation is like update operation. My key not there, then the time my operation is like insert operation. Other than that, remaining all are like same only. Understood? So now you can conclude one point. Is it possible to insert the duplicate keys in the object? Is there any chance? Can you see the duplicate keys in the object? Is there any chance? Can we see the duplicate keys? Is there any chance? No, right? No, right? If you try to insert, my operation is like what? Update operation, done to be like a update operation or not? Yes or no? Okay, similar kind of functionality you can see in the .NET map. Okay, and my Java also map you can use it. My Python is like a dict, you can use it. Okay, in JavaScript we are going to use like an object. Okay, now update is okay, nothing is there. Update side, insert and update both are like same. Key already there, update. Key is not there, it's like a insert operation or not. Agreed everyone? Okay, what is the next one? Insert update. The next one is what? Come on, retrieve. Retrieve. That means retrieve the data from where? Retrieve the data from the object. How many properties are there? So for how many properties are there? There has
Three
Three
properties.
properties are there. If you want to insert one more property, okay, full name, will it work or not work?
not work.
Not
Not
work.
work.
So you have to go with what? Square bracket notation. Will it
Square
work or
bracket
not work?
notation. Not work.
Not work. Why?
Not work.
Because it is treated like what? A reference.
Info format.
A variable. Okay, treated like a variable. Is there any variable having the spaces?
No.
Syntactically wrong or not? Yes or no? Variable is not having the space at least. Now you have to go with what? Okay, full name as like a value. Now my obj is this one or not? I want to retrieve the data. How we can retrieve, you know? That is very simple, using dot notation, square bracket notation only. My obj dot name, if you want to, if you want to insert, you have to assign the value, but it is not insert, is not update. You are retrieving, so that don't assign it. Say this, you can get the value such in or not. Obj dot runs, obj dot full name. See this again, syntax error. Why? Is my square bracket notation or dot notation is going to work with the keys which are having the space?
Square bracket.
Any kind of operation, any operation, insert, update, delete, whatever operation, the key having the space means that should be square bracket notation. Obj of full name. Obj of full name. Now see this. Obj of full name. It's like a SRT printed or not. Yes or no? Okay. Obj of location. It's not having the spaces. Still it is going to work, right? Still it is going to work. This is the way we can retrieve the data from the object or not. We can retrieve the data from the object. So what about delete? What about delete? Okay. If
To
you want to
remove the
delete
particular
one of
item.
the property, okay, we have in JavaScript one key is there, one keyword is there, one reserved word is there. Delete is the one. Delete is the reserved word. You want to delete which property? From where you want me to delete? I want to delete obj property, one of the property from obj. Which property? Name property. Is my name is like having the space? Then you can go with the dot notation or square bracket notation. Square bracket notation. If the key is not having the space, then you can go with dot notation or square bracket notation. Now see, my obj is like what? Okay. Now the name is like deleted or not? I want to delete the full name. Delete obj of full name. Will it work or not work? Will it work or not work?
Not work.
Not work. Okay. You should have to make it work like this or not. Now see my obj. See my obj. Yes or no? Agreed everyone? This is the way we can retrieve the data. Understood everyone? Now onwards, wherever you see obj dot name, this kind of syntax, wherever you see obj dot location, this kind of syntax, wherever you see the dot is there, means the prefix should be what? Which type? The prefix should which type? Prefix should which type? Before dot is which type?
Object.
Object type. After the dot, whatever you have, that is like what? The property inside that object or not? The property inside that object or not? Yes or no? Okay, now tell me. Now document dot get the element by ID. If you see this one, this dot is there. This dot. Okay, before dot, what is the type?
Object.
Before dot, what is the type? Come on.
Object.
It's an object or not? Inside that object, my get element by ID is like what?
Property.
One of the property or not? One of the property. One of the property. Understood? Okay, in the OOPS concept, whenever we discuss, we can get some more idea about this object. Okay, the class also contains variables and methods. Those also coming like an object format. That is separate discussion in the OOPS. We'll see later. For now, just you are able to understand or not. Now onwards, if you see the dot, before dot, I can say like an object. After the dot, it's like a property inside that object. The property inside that object. Okay. Anyone have any questions so far? Okay, then for now we can stop here. Okay. So who want to continue? Just okay, you can check with admin. Monday onwards, the link is going to change. Okay. Already full stack UI people, just you can continue. We'll share the new link. Okay. If you have any questions, just you can drop a message.
Where can
How
we
to,
see? Where
Second,
can we check the videos?
in the JavaScript only. No?
yeah, admin, how to reach?
Second,
How to reach admin?
yeah, this is vdsschool.com is there. No? Just you can drop WhatsApp message. They can respond. Yeah, here the users one. Okay, here the videos you can see. 4 videos. Today's video they are going to upload it.
So for full React UI,
Yeah, that
for
one
that thing,
you
I
can
can
keep,
see only day
yeah,
14.
yeah, you can see HTML, CSS only that. Okay, and then JavaScript like that we can. Okay, just you can enroll. No need to pay.
For JavaScript, I need to enroll again.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you have to enroll.
Okay, fine.
If you not enroll, just you can drop a message so that they are going to share you the link.
Sure.
The admin number?
Yeah, this is the one.
Okay, okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, then thank you guys. Thanks for joining.